We saw gold correcting quite a bit this week. Here to talk about this with me is Brien Lundin, the author of the Gold Report and the organizer behind the New Orleans Investment Conference happening this October. Brien, thank you for joining me. What are your thoughts on the corrections we saw this week?
Well, the corrections really unnerved a lot of investors, and frankly, that's good. That's precisely what we needed at this point in the market. Gold was in danger of going parabolic. A lot of people had said it actually was going parabolic. But from our charting, if you look at a longer-term uptrend channel going back a few years, gold was firmly within that channel and is actually just in the later stages of that run, it pierced the upside of that channel. So once it did that, it fell right back down into that long-term uptrend. And despite the dire warnings of a lot of technical analysts about outside reversals, et cetera, I really think this is going to end up being, like all of the corrections in gold's long-term bull market, just a passing correction that really left the market much healthier than it was before.
So a passing cloud.
Yeah.
So do you see more upside potential for gold?
Oh, absolutely. If you look at the longer-term factors that drove this most recent rally in gold, they're still there. The U.S. economy is stuck in really a stagflation reminiscent of the 1970s. Europe's in tatters, and we're really seeing that start to unravel. Those factors have just left the headlines temporarily. They're still there. And not only that, we're getting ready to enter the big market for physical demand. The seasonal period where gold is typically strong. So I think gold's set up for a very strong fall.
If we move on over to silver now, Brien, we didn't really see silver follow in gold's parabolic move right now. Do you see a rally in store for silver?
Yes, I do. I think silver was belatedly following gold. It just started to make up some ground in the later stages of that little that spike we just saw in the gold price. And it's starting to fall back at this moment as we're talking, along with gold. I think silver right now is something you want to stay away from until we see where this correction goes. If prices get down to the $35 or lower, I think that would be a buying opportunity. But again, for the longer term, going through the fall and into next year and really into the elections of 2012 here in the U.S., I think we have the gold and silver markets set up for strength.
What highs can you see on the silver side, Brien?
Well, we've already seen gold break the all-time nominal high by a very large margin. We have not seen silver do that. Granted, the high of $50 in 1980 was a speculative blow-off, but we should break that easily on this run in nominal terms. In real terms, silver would have to get over $120 an ounce to equal the highs of 1980. So I think we can safely say, or boldly prognosticate that silver prices of $75 are very likely between now and the 2012 elections.
So quite bullish, Brien. What can we expect from today's meeting at Jackson Hole?
I think that's a risk-filled event for the markets, all of the investment markets. I really don't think Bernanke can do much. I don't think he can even say much. But you see speculators and all of the markets pretty much going flat right now in anticipation. It's a risk-filled event on the upside or the downside for every asset class. Nobody really knows what's going to happen, so everyone's kind of pulling in their horns and waiting to see what will happen.
So do you think we'll see a lot of movement once that meeting concludes?
Yes, I think in one way or another. I think even though a number of people are going flat, there are some bets one way or the other. It could be a volatile day.
Any parting words for investors, Brien?
Well, short term, we need to see this correction play out. Once we think we've seen a bottom, I think it'll be a real buying opportunity. Going into the fall, we'll see a physical demand come back into the market. I think that will be a time when we'll really see gold enter the next phase of its bull market. And in longer term than even that, I think the metals are set up for a bull market run through the 2012 elections, and then we'll see how that works out.
All right, Brien, you are also the organizer behind the New Orleans Investment Conference happening this October 26th to 29th. Who's on the roster? What can we expect?
Well, we're really excited about the agenda we have set up, and the timing couldn't be better. Typically, the speakers at the New Orleans conference have led the attendees to even greater profits and greater profit opportunities during times of financial turmoil. Really, just what we're seeing right now. We think it's going to be one of the most successful and profitable events in our nearly 40-year history. We've got Glenn Beck, we've got Dennis Gartman, we've got Peter Schiff, we've got Dr. Charles Krauthammer, we've got Dr. Mark Faber, Stephen Hayes, Stephen Moore. Really, just a list of the top experts in geopolitics, economics, investments, the leading precious metals and mining stock advisors in the world today. So it's really an event that we think is going to be just tremendously rewarding and profitable for all who attend.
All right, Brien, thank you so much for joining us.
Great, thank you for the opportunity.
And you can find out more about the New Orleans Investment Conference at neworleansconference.com. Thank you for watching. You can email me your comments and questions at newsfeedback@kitco.com. For Kitco News, I'm Daniela Cambone.